While most of the United States is going through a really cold patch right now, where I'm at, it's 90 today. It's almost 90 today, 89. But still, it's super hot. It's almost March. You know, spring is going to roll around in the next several weeks or so. So, in order to get ready for that warmer weather, I got 10 warm weather fragrances in this list. This is going to be more my old style. It's going to be a lot more off the cuff, not so much scripted. So, see what happens.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
So the main reason why I wanted to do this video is to highlight this. Narciso Rodriguez, for him, Blue Noir, Eau de Toilette Extreme. Long ass name, makes no sense.
WTF. What the hell?
Be my scent of the day today. It's super duper hot and this is really refreshing. Whew, smells really good. So the reason why I wanted to highlight this today is because there are a few bottles available. I got my bottle from Duty Free, so it is still out there, but it is harder to find. Hasn't been on discounters for the past, I want to say, almost year at this point. I've been trying to get a bottle of this for a while. The reason why I bought it from Duty Free is because it was available. I haven't really been able to see anything, and yeah, definitely worth the money even at retail for this little 50 milliliter bottle. Very citric opening, kind of like a grapefruit, lemon, orange, slightly sweet but tart combo. It's not overly grindy. It's not super duper naturalistic. I do have some fragrances like that coming up, but the citrus in here is very nice. Got a little bit of an aromatic, woody backbone to it. The base of it with a little bit of woods and musk in here just really softens the fragrance up. Perfect warm weather work fragrance if you want something a little more dressed up. Fantastic scent right here. Get it while you can. I don't know how much longer this will be available for. Speaking of naturalistic citrus, Hermes Eau d'Orange Vert. This is a very, very realistic orange type of note. Let me spray it in there. I haven't smelled this in a while. Oh man, this one is a lot more rindy. It's a little bit almost sour, but not really sour. Definitely more tart and sharp around the edges. This right here doesn't really have the best performance. It is an eau de cologne, and again, being an orange dominant fragrance with a little bit of greens, it's not gonna really last for a long time. Citrus notes don't tend to last long, especially when they are naturalistic. But if you want something calming, you love the note of orange, you want a little bit of a green tinge, something timeless. This smells timeless. This is, I believe, an '09 formulation. Tester again. And you can find 50 milliliter bottles as cheap as $30 on discounters. So if you want something affordable, a little bit elevated, but really casual and easygoing, we'll be able to dress it up in the right situation. Fantastic cheapie right here. Fantastic cheapie. Oldie but a goodie. All right, so this next one, my work scent Platinum Egoist. Again, more aromatic. Not the best performer in terms of projection. Longevity is decent for an eau de toilette, but don't expect it to last 12 plus hours. Very metallic, old school barbershop-y, shaving cream type of feel. For me, it's timeless. Other people might call it dated. But if you want something very clean, green, aromatic, a little bit soapy and metallic, this is it right here. For it being over 30 years old, this still stands the test of time. This is very professional smelling, something like a boss, a CEO, or some type of person in power in the corporate structure would wear. Only downside is you're gonna have to pay full retail. It is a Chanel. You're not gonna find this on discounters. One quick note, if you do happen to know someone that shops at like a Sephora, an Ulta, or a Macy's religiously, if they're part of their exclusive reward systems, you might be able to get Chanel fragrances for a slight discount. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for something more sea breeze like, by the ocean, very clean, aquatic, a little bit aromatic, just transport you to the beach or the coastline, right here. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue All Intense. Fantastic, fantastic fragrance right here. Again, something that is almost 10 years old, which is astounding to me that this has been around for that long. Quintessential oceanic, by the beach, coastline type of fragrance. A lot of aquatic notes, sea notes in here. Good hit of grapefruit in the top as well. That'll freshen everything up. If you want something to transport you to a vacation, this is one of the best scents right here. And on discounters, not overly expensive. It's about $55 to $70 depending on where you buy it from and the bottle size that you get. I'm gonna do 3 fragrances really quickly. Mont Blanc, Star Walker, the original, Versace Mano Fresh. Don't get the tester for this fragrance. It doesn't come with a cap, as you can see here. And Acqua di Parma Figo di Amalfi. The reason why I grouped these 3 together is because on one of my last trips, I went to the Philippines. These were my main wears. These 2 remind me of the Philippines a lot. I wore this one a lot for just casual wear. And then whenever we were doing something like going out to eat, special event, this was my jam. Reminds me of the Philippines. I loved it there. Hopefully I go back there one day. And if my family's watching in the Philippines, shout out to y'all. Thank you for giving us a great time, my family and I. The reason why I bring this in the picture is because these 2 smell really, really similar. It just depends on what you're looking for. This is more around that star fruit note. It's not really a fruity fragrance, but it does have a little bit of a soft, fleshy type of fruit feel. If you want something a little more woody, this is it right here. This one also does have tea. So if you want a woody tea take on this type of scent profile, get this. If you want something a little bit fruity but really fresh, go for something like this. In regards to Figo di Amalfi, legendary fragrance right here. Again, how the hell is this 20 years old? It doesn't smell like it's 20 years old. The main note in here is fig. This is more of a fruity fig with a little bit of the woods in the background. I do have quite a few fig fragrances. I love the note of fig, which is why I think if you want something unique for the summertime in terms of a fruity scent profile, fig is a great note. I have a couple other fruity fragrances coming up later, but this is just fantastic. The Versace and the Mont Blanc, you could easily find those under $30 depending on where you look. For this one, for it being a niche fragrance, it's actually quite affordable. You could find it well under $100 for this 3.4 flow ounce bottle. If you want that 200 milliliter bottle or that 150 milliliter bottle, it's a little bit over $100. But for a very affordable niche fragrance, smells well put together, very elegant. Doesn't have to be dressed up all the time. This could be dressed down as well. But yeah, if you want to stand out a little bit, go with the note of fig for the summertime. And this is a great fig fragrance right here. All right, another cheapie. This is going to be the second to last cheapie on this list. Bentley for Men Silver Lake. In the vein of something like Acqua di Gio. I don't know for sure if it smells exactly like a Senza. I've never smelled a Senza, but this is a very green take on Acqua di Gio. Not the best performer in terms of longevity, but the first hour and a half has really loud projection. The greenness in here, a little bit of violet leaf. If a greener take on Acqua di Gio sounds good to you and you don't want to spend a lot of money, or you just don't want to buy Acqua di Gio, but you want something similar to it, like, that's so stupid.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
If you don't want to spend that Acqua di Gio designer money and you want a really close iteration of it with a slight green twist, this is it right here. Thankfully, this next fragrance has been brought back to life. I could actually recommend it. I was able to smell it, and I do believe that it's worth it. There's a reason why the fragrance community loved this fragrance. A little bit polarizing because of the scent profile, but if you know, you know. Invictus Aqua by Rabanne. This does have that bubblegummy sweetness, but toned down a lot. I don't really like overly bubblegummy sweet type of fragrances. The original Invictus, not the biggest fan of. Haven't smelled the entire line, but I can definitely recommend this, especially for warmer climate. And again, another grapefruit hit. Has that bubblegummy sweetness. This one is saltier, a little bit more aquatic, and a lot fresher compared to the original Invictus. Perfect for the summertime. Big blast of grapefruit in the open too. Yeah, I can't go wrong with this. I bought this at duty free, which is why it's this bottle. This is a 2024 version. The new version looks a little bit different, but I've smelled it. It's practically the same fragrance, just a rebottling. Fantastic if you want something a little bit bubblegummy sweet, a tad bit youthful, but still very aquatic and wearable for warmer weather. Alright, so this is my final cheapie in the list. This has been one of my favorite cheapie fragrances since I got it in 2022, 2023. Hugo Boss Bottled Unlimited. This is unreal. This is so good. Since I bought it, I've worn this religiously. One of the biggest dents in my entire collection. And you can find this under $40 on discounters. Pineapple and violet leaf combo right here. That's the main star of the show. Not the most complex fragrance and not the most natural smelling fragrance, but this smells freaking good in the warmer weather when the sun is hitting your skin like there's no tomorrow. The pineapple violet leaf combo just pops off the skin. It does smell quite fruity. This is a very juicy fruit type of pineapple. Think of a ripe, fresh pineapple that you're about to eat. This is what I think of every time I smell it. On my skin, outrageous performance. I get 10 hours plus of longevity and strong push in the first 2 hours. I know a lot of people say the performance on this is so-so, but I don't know what it is with this on my skin. It just performs like a monster and I love it. I don't even need to introduce this next fragrance. You've heard me talk about this a lot. My signature scent, the most unique aquatic I have in my collection and one of the most unique aquatic fragrances I've ever smelled. Fantastic right here. All about the sea notes, the salt, seaweed, a couple other notes that play a role, but this is about as dark aquatic as you could get in the designer realm. Not so sure about niche fragrances that have a dark aquatic tinge to them, but in terms of the designer world, this is fantastic right here. It is a Tom Ford, so number one, the atomizer on the Signature collection could be better, but damn, that's super, super good. In the name, you might think this is a very funky, fecal, animalic oud. Not really. If anything, the oud in here is actually really rubbery. It kind of gives it a slightly oily, fishy type of smell. Not in a bad way, though. It'll just elevate all these aquatic notes, the sea notes, the seaweed, to legitimately remind you of you being in the middle of the ocean. This fragrance smells like you're in the middle of the ocean and you're about to jump into it. I love that smell. I know it's very polarizing, but if you like dark aquatics or you want an aquatic fragrance that smells really unique compared to a lot of designers out there, I do have quite a few aquatics in this list already. This is the most interesting and easily my favorite. It is a Tom Ford. It is a little more expensive, so be aware of that. But if you could afford it or you save up on it, maybe get a smaller bottle like a 50 ml, I could completely recommend this. You could wear this any time of the year, but in my opinion, summertime is its peak. So hopefully you like the list. I know it's really cold everywhere else, but this just gives you an idea of what to expect when the summertime comes up. Hopefully I can review a couple more things, maybe be able to update this list. But yeah, out of my collection right now, those are my top 10 recommendations for warmer weather. Hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what fragrances you would recommend to other people for the summertime or hot spring. Subscribe to my channel for future content, and I will see you soon.